Hello and welcome back to my journey to become a full stack developer in 2024. In today's video, which is day 4, I will be learning to create a landing page in Figma and creating that page in HTML. In the last video, we started creating a layout in Figma and I will continue on this and then I will design this, I will code this in HTML. So for now, I will delete those boxes. I don't need them. So I will clear all of my page. I will leave the nav bar. In the last video, we said we will be creating a box size video. I will still continue with the box size, but I can do full width nav bar because I will be using a few elements where I can create a full width website, but our content will still be in the box size. So this will be our this is our nav bar, and I want to add my logo here. So to create my logo, I'm using Canva. I'll go back to the Canva, and then from the file I can create my logo. I'd say create new design. From new design, I'll say I typed logo. I click on logo, and by default it has given me 500 by 500 pixel artboard. I can select any of the logo from here. I will just go with the first one, which is just clear and easy, and I will use it. I'll use whatever, like blue, white. So I will use the blue background, but I will remove it anyway. So I need to resize my logo, and the new size I want is 350 pixel wide and 80 pixel height. So I will resize. The Canva has given me a lot of functionality to resize my image. So I will resize this design instead of creating a new design. So once I have done that, I will select both elements and I will resize them, like click, drag, drop. Okay, so to make it wider, I need to change this wording, and I will say website. This is the business name, this is the company name, or whatever name we have for the logo. I will drop this. Okay, so I will call it my logo. I don't need to do a lot of designing on it. This is just for demonstration purpose. Okay, to download, I will go here on the share button and then I will say download. On download, it says like suggested is a PNG. Okay, let's go with PNG, or we can do the JPEG, but I'll go with PNG. And then transparent background, this is what I want. So after that I will download it, and once it is downloaded I will have saved it in my folder. So let me quickly go back to the folder structure I have created. Previous video you have seen we only had the HTML pages, but now I have a new folder. I called it source, SRC. In that folder I have a new folder called assets, where I will be using all of my assets for this website. Within asset I have a folder called CSS, and within that folder I have style.css, and this style sheet will go here when I will use it. So I don't have any CSS for now, so I will leave it for now. So that will go to the CSS, and this CSS will go to every single page where I want to create my custom CSS. Okay, so the next folder I have is images, where all of the images I will bring in this folder to use on my website. So I have already a few images when I was doing my practice, so I had some images in already. And this is the background, the website logo I just created and downloaded. This is website logo. Okay, then I have another folder called JS, where I will have my JavaScript, and that JavaScript will go at the end of my web page, which is here. I will also use JavaScript from Bootstrap, and I will use my custom CSS JavaScript as well. Okay, so this is the structure for my logo, my folder. Okay, so back to the Figma. Now I want to add my logo here, which I just downloaded from Canva. I'll go to the file and then place image or video. I select it, I go to the folder where I have a website. Okay, so now I have my logo not appearing here. It won't appear until I click it. So I will click it. I can see here like it says click or drag. So here at the top, so click or drag to place all or discard all, so whatever. So I will click and drag. So I clicked it and now I'm dragging it, and then I'll say okay, this is my logo. So if I press shift, it will go very nicely and smoothly. Okay, so this is my logo. Okay, so I just placed it here. Now I have my logo. If I just select the home page, the whole artboard, and I'll just turn off the grids, I can see it clearly. So now this is my logo. I will remove those two grids, I don't need them. Okay, so these two grids, they are like the width of my website. So when I removed or disabled the grids, I can see where my website is or what margin I need. Okay, so this is the logo, and then the website we started in our previous video, we had menu items. So home, about, services, blog. And while I was doing some practice today, I learned that there are a lot more pages I will be creating. So I will press the T button and key on the keyboard, and then I will click here to start typing my pages. So first is home. I need to resize my text. So whatever was text I selected last time, it has my like whatever selection I had last time, it still keep it. So I'm going to say 8, let's say 16. We will look into it, that what are the best size font size for the website. So this is, I'm just going to bigger my screen. So this is home, and then I will click I will press option button and click drag to create a second item, again third item, again fourth item, again fifth item, something like that. And I can see it's creating my layers as well here. Okay, so I have a home, then the next menu item is about, then we had services, oops, then we had blogs, and then we had contact. So we had more pages called notes, and then we had one more page called cost. So we have all of our pages. Just to double check: home, about, services, blog, contact, notes, and cost. So these are all our pages are there. So I will select all of them, and here on the top right, I can do their alignment. So the first alignment I want to do is they are all centered at one place. The second, equally distributed. So now they are, what's that? Distribute horizontal spacing. Okay, so now I have my nav bar, I have my pages, I can resize them, I can reposition them. So let me drag and drop them at the very end. Okay, we will learn a lot about it. Okay, so the nav bar is ready. This is our nav bar, and if I go back to the coding and I can start a new page, I will call it landing page, and then I will still leave it as a like home page for that landing, and then I will create this one. So I may not have exact font on font in the HTML, so the fonts might be different, the size might be different, but we will still have some sort of similar look. Okay, so I'm heading back to the Visual Studio, and I'm going to create a new file here. In my main folder, I will create a new file, and I will call it landing.html. Okay, so I have a new page called landing.html. If I go back to index page, we already have navbar, we already have some of the code here. So I will copy some of the code and I will leave rest of the code. So for example, I can copy the the first part here, or I can create, let me create it. So doc 5, and if I say HTML and then boilerplate here, so I have a boilerplate here. I'm going to delete this code. We will talk about them later. We will fix it later. Okay, so this is my code for now. I'm going to get some part from here. So if I just copy the head part, so I don't have to copy one by one. So I just copy the full part here, the head, and I will replace it. So now what's happening here, I have bootstrap CSS in it, view and word wrap. Okay, so we have bootstrap CSS. We will be using it. I still don't have my custom CSS here. Okay, so now what we will have is one tag is header. Okay, we will have another thing, we'll call it section. Okay, and then at the end we will have place for the footer. So for now, I'm going to create in the header, I will have my nav bar. So because we already have our nav bar, and I will go through it again and again, I will just copy the nav bar because we already have it, and then we will be copying this on all web pages. So I copied it, go back to my landing page, and then save it. So this is for now that I have a landing page. I have its nav bar. Now we need to look at the colors, the background, and everything in it. Okay, so if I go back to the website here, and we okay, I have to open it first. Okay, so here we created a new page, which is landing. I'll double click on it. So this is my landing page. I notice here, so one opening tag is left open here, which is showing up. Okay, so where is that? So on landing, there is one tag left opened. Where is that? Hey, come back. Okay, here. So here I have an extra opening tag, so I will remove it, save it, go back to the page. Where is that? Okay, refresh it, and that part is gone. Okay, so now I already had added my logo and all those in when I was doing my practice. So I will go through those steps now. Okay, so in my landing page, here is my landing page, and that is the nav bar. So the primary color, we already discussed it, that this is background is primary, and nav bar previously we had container fluid. So what I did, I just removed fluid, and then I had this full width nav bar. But when I bring it back, so now it's gone to the whole page like full width. So I will just remove, so all of my text area, my images area, my logo area still says within those 12 columns we were discussing. Okay, so in terms of bringing logo here, I will delete this part for now so we can go again. Okay, so yesterday or in the last video we had navbar, and then we had an empty image in it. So we had the text written navbar. So I added an image code here. What I will do, I will add a source. So I am here, this is my page, and in this directory I have a folder called source. So I will simply type src, and I got some suggestions here as well. So I will select my source page. Then within the source, I have 3 folders. So if I go back here, I have assets. So the first folder I have is assets. So when I enter into the assets, I have 3 folders. So the next folder is image. So I just click on the image, I type the images. And then within images, I have all of my logos, or all of the images I have. So we are using website logo. That's what we built in Figma. I will save this code, go back to the website, refresh it, and now I have the new logo. So home, about, services, all of those pages, I have my nav bar, and then I have the logo. Okay, the next part is, in the previous video we looked at that all of the menu items were here on the left side. So Bootstrap has given us a lot of classes, so they have done the hard work and we are using them. So previously we had all of the list items under the unordered, uh, what's that, the list. It was ME, I believe, and if I refresh it, the content was here. So I used a different class which is MS, and that takes all of the content to the right side. Okay, so this part is already okay. And then the next thing we did not have in the last video, that we have added a color style to the text. So previously all of the color was black. If I just remove the style from here, this part, okay, so this is about. So for the about, I changed the color and that has gone to the black. Okay, now instead of I'm trying to improve my code as well. Instead of hard coding, or instead of adding a lot of custom CSS, I'm trying to use Bootstrap classes as well. Okay, so I'm going to add a one class says text white. Let me see if it works. So no, I thought I was in class, so I have to go back in the class. Okay, here I say text white. So if I save it, I hope it worked. Okay, now it's white. So instead of using my custom CSS, I'm going to use class text white, which is Bootstrap built-in class. So I'm going to delete all my custom styles what I had added earlier. So custom style here, everywhere. So I don't need to do my, so it will I mean I will have less code as well, so that is good for me as well. So say delete. So I'm going to delete all of the custom code I have added for text white. So if I save it and go back, so only those two colors. So cost, I did not remove the custom code. So where is the cost? Okay, I already have used the text white here. So only two menu items where I use the text white are white and rest of them are black. So I need to use this class in every menu item. So I go in the class and I say text and then white. Next menu item, text. So this is a class. Okay, and then in class text white, text white. Control save, refresh, and all of the, okay, home page is not done yet. So where is home? Here. Okay, so text white, save. All right, so all of the menu item have Bootstrap class text white. They are white now. I have a logo. So let's go back to the Figma and create the second section. Okay, so under that we are going to create a new section, or I will create a new rectangle. We will also improve the way we structure our files, like for example grouping them here. We will improve that as well. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about that we will have a height, like according to our design we can do 600, we can do 500. So if I do 600, for example, this is 600 pixel, so this is the place. I will still keep it white color. Okay, so this is white color, and within that I will add some of the content. So in the text, in the sample website I was building, where is that? Okay, so I will take this text as a sample, and here I will add it here. So this is the H1 heading. I have to change this. Is, I can say bold, I can increase its size to 48, or say 40, 36, whatever. I will not worry about the sizing at this stage. I can always change the size when we learn more about the CSS. So maybe I can do 24 for now. Okay, that's perfect. So I have the heading and 3 lines heading, and then I have set its size, it's bold. Okay, and then the rest part is I will take this content here, copy, and then I will paste it here. Okay, so okay, let me do this a different way. Okay, so select T, and then oops, my fault. Okay, select T, drag and drop, and I want it here. Okay, paste. So this is my text. I'm going to reduce its size to maybe 16. I don't need this bold, and then I need this justify. Okay, so it will be somewhere here. Okay, so that is the content for and the heading. So since our website is in the box size, I can like I can align them beside the line, so it will be there, so I don't have to add extra padding or extra margins. Okay, so in the website I also had 2 of the buttons, so I'm going to create 2 buttons here now. Okay, again I select one rectangle in it. Okay, so this is button 1, this is button 2. I can resize them, so I can do the cross the borders or the corners. For now I can say 5, and the color was primary. Okay, so both of them, they are primary color. Oops. Okay, and then I had 5 border corner. Okay, so this is my first button, and this is the second button. Okay, so we can always look into it. Okay, what is the actual size? We can use Figma in Cloudflare. Sorry, not Cloudflare. I was reading here. in Visual Studio, and then we can get the actual size as well. Okay, so in the buttons I have watch all videos. This is the text. I will press T here, watch all videos, and then the second text I have is subscribe to my newsletter. Okay, so the second text I just click and drag here and say subscribe to my newsletter. I hope it's all correct here. So resize it, LETTER. Okay, so this is the part on the left side, and on the right side we had a video. So this part of the video. Okay, so I will add that video when I go to the page. Okay, so I can simply just say here, okay, for example this part, and I say YouTube video. Okay, so for now I will leave it as it is. Okay, now I'm going back to the code, and let's continue creating this page in the code. That's hard job now. Okay. Okay, so under the header and the navigation, I will say a comment here that above the fold head. So inside I will create a div class container. Okay, so everything is in container. Within that container I will create a class, a div, give it a class row, and then I will create 2 columns in it. So first div class col column. This is my first column, and then I have to create a second column in it. Div class col, and then second columns. So now I have 2 columns. So my website is in 2 columns. So this, I have this section like full width, and then within that I have a container. This is a container, and then I have 2 columns. So this part is in first column, and this part is in the second column. So I have this text already in the website, so I will just copy from there, and then I have 2 buttons here. So the first part here in the first column is I have to add a heading 1. So instead of typing again, I can just go back and copy the text from it. So this is my heading 1, join my learning, and I will copy it from here till here. So okay, I will copy this, I will remove the coding, and then I will do it again. So I'll go back to heading, and in the landing page, okay, this is heading. If I save it and go back to the page, and if I here, sorry, so that's the landing page. So I have this heading, what I just typed in, copied in. Okay, so I'm going to remove this part and we will see what those are. So now I have simple H1. That's it. So I don't have any margin. I don't have any styling. This is just H1, and then I only have this break page. So if I remove that part as well, I don't need to add any code. This is the raw material. Okay, so I can use as it is. Okay, so there are few classes, there are few coding I need to set this up. The first I can say, for example, class padding, and I can add padding vertically, and I can say 5 it if it works. Oops. Okay, so it has added a vertical padding on the top and the bottom as well. Okay, so the next part is the text. So I will just copy this p text and then paste it in my landing page. Okay, so saved it, refresh it. Okay, so I have the second part as well. The third part is we have two buttons. So if I just copy two buttons, or I just create two buttons here instead of copying, I need to type as well. Okay, so the first is button, the tag, the actual tag button, and then I'll say type, which is button, and then we use class. The first class is btn, so this is button, then btn, then the color I need, I say btn primary, and then I want to know if I want to say, okay, if this is a small button or large button, so I will say btn large. Okay, I will close it and I'll say watch all of my videos. So this is the first button I have created. Here we go. I will copy this code, paste it again, and this I will say, for this button I will say subscribe to newsletter. Save it. I have the second button. So the layout is defining very well. I have a lot of space here. The reason when I said py, that means it added everywhere. So I will leave it for now, or I think if it's pt, if it is correct, if it's wrong, I'll go back here. Okay, so pt means padding on the top only. So it has padding on the top. There is no padding or whatever the standard padding is on the bottom. I can also add one more thing here in the class here, and if it is works, so margin on the top, and I will say 5. Okay, so if I refresh it, so that means I got padding as well, and I got some margin on the top as well. Okay, now the right side, I have to add a video here, a YouTube video. So if I go back to my YouTube channel, and if I select any of the video, hello, okay, so this is one of the video. I will click here on the share button. In the share button, I have embed. So this is the code for the YouTube video, which I will copy it and paste into my page. So if it has given me some like width is 560, the height is, so I will just go with standard width, height, whatever it is given me, I won't change it. So I will copy this code. I'm sure there are plenty of ways to edit, but for now I will just paste this iframe here. So if I go back to my page, and I can see there is the video. Now it gone on the top because I do not have any of the text or any of the padding or margin or anything. So if I go here and I can add a class here, if it works here, I say pt say margin on the top is 5, save it. Okay, so I have a margin here now. And if that doesn't work, is if this is not enough, I can add my custom style. And to do that, I will remove the class. I will say style, and I'll say margin on the top, and I can say 100 pixel. So save it. Okay, now it's here. So the first part is done. The example I was looking here on the website, where is that? The example here. So we have two buttons. We have the text, we have the video as well. The second part is we have three columns, we have three cards, and I will do this in Figma as well, and I will talk here that what I have done. So this is basically the cards given by Bootstrap. So let's go back to the Figma. Here in the Figma, the second I will create, okay, so okay, now I will create a new rectangle, and without giving any padding, without giving any margin, I will just create it and I call it again. So this is 600 as well. All right, so I have three columns here and I have three boxes. So the first box is, for example, so this is the first box, second box, and third box. I just changed their color. Okay. Okay, so we have three boxes. They are almost same size. Okay, and then we have image in it. I can create just for my own sake, I can say, okay, let's create a new, so I can call it like, okay, this is the image. Okay, this will be the image, just for understanding, okay, how I build the layout. I'm sure there are better ways to do it. So this will be the image, then we will have text, and then okay, so if I go back to the code, and this is the first section, I will say here under this, above the four ends here. Okay, so the next section I will call it services section starts here. Okay, and I will start a new section, end it, and then within that section I will create a div for a container, and then within container a new div for a row, and within that I have three columns. So I can say div class col column, and that is the first column. Then I have three columns in it. Okay, so copy paste second, copy paste second. Okay, so now we have three columns. We don't have any content in those three columns. So the first part I have to add is the card. So let's go back to the Bootstrap and see what are the cards. So if I type here card, so these are the cards from the Bootstrap, where image, and then they have card title, and then some text and some button, various cards, different styles. So I will just go ahead with the first card. So this is the first card. I will use its code. This is the code for the first card, and then we will explain it. Okay, so I'll go back to my index page where I have my first card. Okay, so first I have a section, then I have a container, then row, and then I have a h1, which is for the card. Like it's not for the card, so it is the top heading here. Okay, so I will copy this line, go back to my landing page, and here in the first column, no, sorry, it is before the column. Okay, so this is the first heading I have. If I refresh it, I can see this is my heading. Okay, so the second thing I want to add here is the column. Within the column, the first div is the card. So this is the code for the whole card. So I will copy this code and I will explain everything here. Okay, so in my first column, I add the card, save it, go back to the page, refresh it, and I can see it. Okay, so how this worked. Okay, so the first part, the first thing I did is I will remove this image. There was no image when I started, so it was empty like this. Okay, so as we edited the logo, we will do it again. So first, source folder. Within source folder, I have assets. Within assets, I have images. Within images, I have image of me. So saved. So this is first part. The second is the built-in class comes with the card is card image and top, and that is everything about the card. So we don't have to add or remove. That's enough for now. And then the alt is alternative text about the image, and I can say Anwar Malik, so I can type some text here. Okay, so the second, the card body, inside the card body we have h5, which is another heading, and then which is the card title, this part here. For the card title, we have class text primary. So this is what I added on my own choice. So by default, the text was black, and I want you to do a blue color. So I said text primary, and then I have given it a link which goes to the Google. What I see here that I will have to create more pages. So one page is for the front end development, one page will be for the back end development, one page will be the deployment, one page will be the marketing, the digital marketing, the social media marketing. So I will be creating more pages. So for now I just linked it with the Google, so it opens in the Google. It just open a new page. Okay, to do that, I have set a target to blank. So that means this link will open in a new tab. So the Google will be opened in a new tab. Okay, so the next part is the heading of that title, and then under the title, the card text. This is the class built by the built-in by Bootstrap, and this is all of the content whatever we want. Okay, and then at the bottom we have a button came within the card, and that button will go somewhere. So whatever link we will go. So for example, if I give the same link here, if I copy this link here, and instead of hash, if we type this enter this link, it when refresh it, it will go to the Google as well. So because I did not set the target to the new window, new tab, it opened here as well. Okay, so this is my first card. So if in my first column, so if I copy the card here and go to the second column, type there the third column, and not type, enter there. So now I have 3 columns, I have 3 cards. All I need to do is I need to change the text, I need to change their color, their link. So to do that, I will go, the first card said front end development, the second card will be back end. Okay, and then the third column will be let's say deployment. Okay, so now I have 3 cards with 3 different say like same links, different text on it. I will leave it here for today, and in the next video we will continue with the rest of the page. I still have to fix some parts here, and then we will add the more videos into it. So in comments you can suggest more things, you can ask questions, and I'll try to answer. Thank you.